Carmen Cain Banner. I'm a resident of West Palm Beach. I'm a mother of two. I'm married to a wonderful man by the name of Luke Banner. I've been in business for the last 16 years as the owner and operator of Cain Bail Bonds. The bail bond industry is a state approved industry that when a person goes to jail and they can't afford to pay the full amount of the bail, for example, if it's $3,000, they can't afford to pay the $3,000, so they would come to a bail bond agent and pay 10%, which would be $300. And once we post their bail, that person is legally in my custody. At that point, it gives me the right to arrest that person if they violate their bail bond contract in any way, according to the documents that are signed. Typically what happens, a person gets arrested, they go to jail, they'll contact their family member. The family member will in turn contact me, but sometimes the defendant calls me directly from jail as well. But typically the family will contact me and they will come into the office and we'll sign all the necessary paperwork. And I sign a promissory note to the jail and promising to pay them the $3,000 in the event that the defendant does not show up for court. A typical day at the office is, I arrive at the office, there's a lot of paperwork involved. I deal a lot with lawyers. I've learned a lot about our legal system. I have an online system where I enter the client's information into the database that keeps track of the clients. And also my new app is the Cain Bail Bond app. It's tied in with my online database system that also helps me with the clients to check in. They can go through the app to check for their court date. There's a lot, the phone rings a lot within the office. There are days where we have to suit up and go out and do pickups and, go knock on doors, kick doors in, break windows. That's not the fun part of my job though. It started 16 years ago. I was working in corporate America. I'm also a paralegal. So my dream job was to be a paralegal in corporate America. I got a job in corporate America in human resources. I thought I could work my way up into the legal department. That didn't happen. I hit the glass ceiling in corporate America, but I worked part-time for a friend of mine that was a bail bond agent. And one day he suggested to me, he's like, why don't you get into this business? And I said no. Time went on. After I was not getting anywhere in the corporate world, I just decided, hey, I should give it a shot. It's the best decision that I have made in my life because I have control of my finances. I have control of my destiny. In corporate America, you could top out in your salary and you could be there for the next 10 years. And, if there was no cost of living increase, then you were just pretty much at that pay rate. So he got me into the business and like I said, I don't regret it. I don't really have many negative things to say about it because there have been some women before me, older, that I appreciate that they paved the way, for women today. We probably have in Palm Beach County about maybe 10 or 15 women that are in this business. My ideal thing was when I first started, I wanted an all-female bail bond agency. That was kind of like my thought in the beginning, but agents in the industry, everybody wants to be separate. Everybody wants to own their own agency, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, we have a lot of women, like I said, in this industry, and we're just as tough as some of the guys. Actually, I think we're probably a little bit better at doing pickups because we come across, as soft and nice, and, we treat people when we have to, so that part, it's not extremely difficult for a woman. It's always risky, it's a very dangerous business. I never want people to think that it's not. And I'm afraid a lot of times when I go out to have to do a pickup because when you knock on a door, you have no idea what's on the other side of that door. I try to give exceptional customer service, because we all do the same thing. There's nothing different in our, in the process of bonding someone out of jail. So I try to give good customer service. I try to go up above and beyond. Like there's times where I have a client that's on in-house arrest and the family, they don't know the process. I'll call the jail and, I'll get the process for them. And sometimes if they need me to talk to an attorney, I'll call their attorneys and talk to them, which is really not a part of bail bonding, but it's a part of my customer service. And every year I try to rebrand myself. So this year I'm really branding really hard, being present on all social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and just trying to just continue to keep my face out there. And it works. It works. Since I've been in business, I've always supported like the different churches, different organizations, the Deltas, buying ads. But I think the main thing that really works for me is that I'm out there. I go to a lot, because people even tell me, it's like, you are everywhere. I was like, well, hey. And, I try to, take the least expensive routes. And social media is one of those. I try to wear my shirts. I send out postcards to clients that are in jail to their resident address. We also have a list in the jail. We're all listed in every jail cell, in the holding cells, in all the jail cells. Every agent in Palm Beach County that's a part of our Palm Beach County Bail Association, our names are on the list. And I get, I think we all get our fair share of the calls from the list. And that's pretty much just, just keeping my face out there in the public and, letting people know who I am. The risk is very risky. And I've been so blessed that I haven't had to pay an enormous amount. Well, last year was my first time, I would say. I have a client that I have not found him. It's been a year. I had to pay $50,000. And in the beginning, I was so, like you said, I was so green about how risky the business was. And at one point, I had so many bond forfeitures, meaning people had skipped court. I didn't know how to go about finding them. I didn't know what to do. And I actually wind up getting out of the business for about a year, because I was so overwhelmed with that. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to turn to. And so, yeah, that was very challenging. Well, I'm a full supporter of entrepreneurship. As I indicated, I'm finishing up my degree in business management entrepreneurship. But I think that with the internet and all the resources that we have at our hands, that we should research, before trying to become a business owner. Because I hear people say a lot, I want to own my own business. You get to do this, you get to do that. But I come back and say that, but when you work in corporate America, you show up 9 to 5, Monday through Fridays. At the end of the week, you got a paycheck. I say, but when you're self-employed, you got to know how to budget, and just know that there may be some days that you're not going to have any money coming in. And like I said, I think really do your homework and find out, what it's about running a business, and try to find out if your personality is suited for that, because I just don't think that everyone has that entrepreneurship type personality. I've often wanted to grow the business, but it's very challenging with trying to grow the business, because prior agents that I've interned, because before you can get a bail bond license, you have to do a 1-year internship. And the few agents that I've interned, as soon as they got their license, they were wanting to open their own office, which again, is nothing is wrong with that. But I just think sometimes when you have collaboration, when you could come together, sometimes you can accomplish more. So I'm hoping that one day, I have 2 children, 2 adult daughters, that one day they may want to take over the business and let me retire. Well, we're physically located at 2911 South Congress Avenue in Palm Springs. The phone number is 561-434-9996. We also have a website at www.carmencainbailbonds.com, and we currently have a new app, which is Cain Bail Bonds.